Taika and I were friends for so long before we got together. And he likes to say, before we ruined it all. But it didn't feel any different because it was such a sort of natural progression to our already withstanding friendship that it was kind of like best friends getting married. Like that's what it felt like. And we are the same person. We think the same and our lives just really do blend, even though they're both crazy. So I think what it's done for me, it's actually made me more excited about achieving things and having new goals that I want to achieve. And I think that we really push each other in that direction.
Because home is stable now.
Because home feels super stable.
Which is a great platform to achieve. And
I felt like it was a real big achievement for me. Yeah.
Why?
Because I just didn't think that was ever going to happen to me.
Why?
Because I was never in one place. I never gave myself the time to all the energy to put into trying to find a soulmate or do that, because I was always like, you're either coming on my roller coaster or you're getting off because we're not stopping. And it was really difficult to find somebody that could really manage the pace that my life is in. And then, you know, I met somebody that also lived a life, you know, and has this ability to, you know, be a father and have this creative aspect. And that was really impressive to me. And I was like, wow, you know, somebody can do it all.
Here's the thing though. So if you had met him when you were 24.
No, hell.
There you go. So it's not really about the person. I think it's more about you. Where you were at.
I was ready, exactly. And this is what my album's also about. It's not about hoping somebody's going to come and fix everything for you, because it's not what I stand for. That's not what like I preach. But it is about, you know, you being in the right frame of mind. And I definitely was when I first met him in a different light in Australia. Yeah.
You were in the right frame of mind when you met him?
Yeah, for sure.
And your husband, he's an Oscar-winning director. So you've worked on some of the music videos with him.
Yeah.
What's that like working with your husband?
Amazing.
Really?
You know, not me. I'm also a fan of his, you know, so it wasn't just like, I'm working with him, let's just go for it. You know, I understand, you know, being lucky to work with him. I mean, I know he's my husband, but I don't take it for granted, you know, like he's written some of my favorite films and Jojo Rabbit and things like that. You know, those are real iconic, stylistically important films of our time. For me to work with him was fun because I knew he was going to throw things at me, you know, like do this and do that. And like, that's how he works. It's just like, da, 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 da. But there's a beauty to his madness. And I was really honored to be amongst that thing at that night. We did it actually all in a day. And praising you, it felt like a mini movie. It was awesome.
Are you a confident person? It's an interesting word because it means so much, the word confidence. But do you think you're a confident individual? Let me define it. When you think, set yourself a goal, or you flirt with a goal.
Yeah.
Are you the type of person that goes 100%? I can do that.
I'm good at being an autopilot confident person.
What does that mean?
Where you can just slip into being confident, as in masking it as much as you possibly can. Like you won't ever see my face kind of feeling a sense of doubt or insecurity if I'm having to show up as Rita Ora. But I always have it going on in my mind. Do they like this? Am I saying the right thing? Do I look weird? Am I wearing crazy clothes? I mean, I do it because I love it and I go out there and I'm like, this is who I am. But I have the doubts constantly in my mind. Is it good enough? Is it good enough? Is it good enough?
What's your journey with confidence been like? Because people will look at you today and I think they see you on the red carpets and these great outfits and stuff and smiling and pat, 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 pat.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, she's just born confident. She's just born with it. And she's, you know, she's got self-doubt isn't a thing for her, never imposter syndrome, none of that. That's just me.
No, I have it all, like really intensely. But I do everything in my power to like keep my brain and my heart calm. So my thoughts are going to be there. I've discovered that and I've accepted that. But now I'm really getting good at controlling where they live. Whereas before, it was really hard for me to do that. And that's what therapy's really helped me do. So I've become really obsessed with working out and being physical and figuring out what I eat. And I fast a lot and I do a lot of that. And it kind of keeps me calm. I don't put myself in situations where I'm going to panic. Like if I don't want to go somewhere, I just won't go. And before I'd be like, oh, I have to do this or I have to do that. And, you know, I think as you get older, you're like, you know what? You don't have to do these things anymore. And a lot of meditating, a lot of incense and smells. I'm a big smells person. But these are my tools. This is what helps me. I don't journal as much, but I did journal for this album that's out. And it was great. I mean, would I do it all the time? No. But I do more of kind of like voice notes and working out and meditating and eating well. Yeah, that's like my thing.
You did something that most people who would say that didn't do, which was then you went and you started your journey in therapy, which is literally the opposite, which is I'm going to understand me.
I don't know if this is a thing, but quarter life crisis, is that a thing?
We've heard that before, yeah.
Is that like a known phrase?
Well, I've heard it before.
But when I was 25, it was a real weird time for me. It was like my second album was kind of coming out-ish. Gosh, I'll never forget this. I was doing the Prince's Trust and I've been working with them for a long time. But there was one occasion I did it at the Royal Albert Hall and I was wearing a blue outfit and I remember Tom Hardy was also in the line to meet our now a king. And I went into that bathroom and my hands were tingling and I was having the craziest panic attack. And that was the first time when I was 25 and my tour manager, Rich, who's been with me for ages, I was like, Rich, I need a couple of minutes. I don't know if I can do this. Like I thought my legs were going to give way and I don't know what was going on. I've met our now king before. I mean, I don't know. I was performing that day as well. I just don't know what happened. I went into the bathroom and I was like, and I mean, I felt sick. I didn't know what was going to go on. And then I got out and I stood in that line and I just went, and I just met Prince/King Charles and I just was not there. It was, but you know, if you look at that photograph, you wouldn't even know. It was, and then I went out and I sang and I messed up the lyrics and completely got it wrong, but nobody really noticed. But that was when I was like when I was 25. And ever since then, I was just petrified of that feeling again. And I learned that through therapy, that is, you get panics from not wanting to get a panic attack. And that's how you sort of drive your panic attacks. That's what happened to me. I was more in fear of feeling like that again. That would put me into the realm of going down that spiral.
And you turn that chapter around in your life. That 25-year-old party chapter.
Yeah, I haven't had as many of that feeling as I thought I was going to have. And now I know it. I mean, I also wasn't familiar with it, remember? I didn't have them growing up. And it just hit me, you know, the pressure of being famous and the pressure of meeting all these real sort of incredible people and me not feeling like I was good enough to be there, you know, it just built up on me.
If you love the Diary of a CEO brand and you watch this channel, please do me a huge favor. Become part of the 15% of the viewers on this channel that have hit the subscribe button. It helps us tremendously, and the bigger the channel gets, the bigger the guests.